you find graphical indicators useful in your reporting or indeed your project scheduling? Well, listen up. In this video, we're going to show you how to do this. Adding graphical indicators, or in other words, traffic light reports, to your Gantt chart schedules can really bring about a lot of impact to communicate how the project is coming along, but it can also give confidence too in your project management board and staff to demonstrate that you know what you're doing. In this worked example, we're going to look at 4 different indicators, and that is a blue indicator to show that the task or milestone has been completed, a green indicator to show that the task or milestone is at least 2 weeks ahead of schedule, a amber milestone to show that it's ahead of schedule but less than 2 weeks, a red milestone to show that it is behind schedule, and a black indicator to show that it is scheduled to be delivered more than 2 weeks behind the original schedule. Now, to do this, we're going to utilize our deadlines. And if you haven't had a chance already, in our video number 10 of this series, we looked at how to bring about deadlines, but we're going to add and bring into the schedule our deadlines. And what our graphical indicators will do will be to compare our finish dates with the deadlines. So how do we do this? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to put together a new column, add new column, and we're going to adopt one of the blank number columns that we have available. Now there's a number available, but we're just going to stick with number 1. What we've got to do is right click on this, and you might recall that when we did our custom fields video a few videos back, we simply clicked custom fields, but instead of using lookup, we're actually going to utilize a formula. So select the formula, and you'll be presented with this box here. Simply click OK, we're comfortable with that, and then click on the formula button. Now, one of the things with Microsoft Project is that they use different formulas, although they're similar, but they are different formulas to Microsoft Excel. But don't panic. I will include this formula in the video description that you can simply copy and paste and use in your schedule. And the formula you can see here is effectively 2 different if commands. Now you'll notice that instead of if, it's double if in Microsoft Project. But we're interested in to know whether it's a blue indicator, and that means is percentage complete equals 100, or in other words 100%. And if that's true, we're going to ask the cell to display a number a long way away from all of the other numbers that we're probably going to nominate. And that's why we've nominated 1000. And you'll see why as we go through this. And then you'll notice after that comma, there is another command, date difference, inverted commas D for days, between the finish and the deadline. So this is telling Microsoft Project to calculate in calendar days how many days difference is there between the finish and the deadline. And that's going to help us determine what color traffic light we're going to use. So once you've put that in, you click OK and simply agree to this dialog box. Existing number will be deleted. We're comfortable with that. Click OK and then click OK again. And you'll notice straight away that tasks, or in this case milestones, that have a deadline assigned to it present itself with a number. And tasks that don't have a deadline come up with an error. Now don't worry about that error. We'll remove that after we assign our traffic lights. It will be automatically deleted. So let's nominate our graphical indicators according to the numbers that we have. And you do that by jumping back into our custom fields. But instead of clicking formula, we go down and under values to display and click next to graphical indicators, and then click the button for graphical indicators. Now it's here where we categorize our numbers to show the appropriate traffic light indicator. Now we're going to stick with non-summary rows for where this graphical indicator applies. And the first thing we're going to do is, if it equals 1000, remember, that is the special number that symbolizes whether the task has actually been completed. And we're going to choose a blue traffic light as so. Then we're going to continue down to green, amber, red and black to show the other conditions used in this traffic light light indicator set. So let's review what we've already nominated here. So if it's greater than or equal to 14 days, or in other words, 14 calendar days for 2 weeks, it's ahead of schedule by 2 weeks, we want it to be green. If it's greater than 0, but less than 14, we want amber. So we go greater than or equal to 0. Similarly, if we want it greater than or equal to negative or minus 14, we want that to show a red. And if it's less than 14 calendar days or 2 weeks behind schedule, we want it shown black. So let's see what we end up with. Click OK, OK again, and we have some graphical indicators shown. And notice all those error messages have also disappeared rather conveniently. Now, as we scroll down, we can do a couple of little self-checks. So the deadline is the 13th of December, and the finish date is the 2nd. So it's less than 2 weeks, but we're still ahead of schedule, so amber, so that would be correct. Similarly, if we look at the committee setup, 31st of January is the deadline date, but the 30th of the 12th is actually when we're scheduled to deliver it. More than 2 weeks, we have green. But as we scroll down, we can see here, we have a black mark, or a black traffic light, so as to say. So this shows that we are well and truly overdue, and that is true. If we look at this, it is well out of range. It might highlight a mistake, or at least something that we need to fix rather quickly. So if we reduce that to 30 days, that last one that's making this milestone so late, we see that it turns red. We're still behind schedule, so we might need to give it some more tender loving care, reduce it to 20 days, and there we are, very close, 1 day prior to the deadline date. So as you can see, a very, very useful way to show how project progress is coming along, quick and easy way to share a greater impact. Now you'll notice here that I've only nominated deadlines against project milestones. So if we want to tidy this up, we can simply go and filter using the View tab, filter to milestones, scroll up, and that tidies things up rather nicely, and we can tidy it up even further by removing the summary tasks if that's convenient. And there you have a neat little summarized schedule which can be used to share those high-level activities or milestones with your wider project team. So when it comes to printing our graphical indicators, or the task sheet showing our graphical indicators, wouldn't it be nice if we could also have a nice little legend at the bottom here which signified what each of these traffic light or graphical indicators mean? Well, the good news is you can. Now we actually play a little trick to Microsoft Project here. If you go into Page Setup, and then I'm going to start with, go to the Legend tab in Page Setup, and we're actually going to say No Legend. But then jump into the Footer tab, and here, using this little button here, we're going to insert an image which I've already created in Microsoft PowerPoint, which shows a JPEG legend for this particular project. So by clicking on this, you'll be presented with a dialog box. Simply add in your JPEG or your picture file, click Insert. There you can see in the center will be our legend. Click OK, and there you have it. A neat little legend, nicely packaged alongside our graphical indicators. All the very best in your scheduling and project management. We hope you found this interesting. Please subscribe and please leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.